Hi, this is a video on how to analyze stocks from the stock screener in Equities Lab. Again, we're starting from the home page and we click on the Create Stock Screener button and go to the editor. Again, we will be setting our screener up for a value ratio. So we have a 0 to 10 PE ratio and we will click Go. Here we have all of the companies that meet the criteria that we set. And we can right click, let's say on the energy sector, and click the drill down button. And what the drill down button is allows us to focus on the energy sector. And we can do that even more so if we want to say oil and gas, E&P, we can drill down again, just like this. And again, we can drill up, if you will. Again, because of the hotkeys, the default setting, you can also simply use the arrow keys on your computer. Just make sure that your mouse is actually over the area in which you want to drill down or up from. Furthermore, we can click on any of these names to get a little bit more information about them. So ERF, if I just hover over it, it gives me an idea of the capitalization. It lets me know that it's an oil and gas exploration and development company. If I actually click on it, we have a real-time price. We have links here to outside websites that give even more information about the company that you're looking at. You can select the tear sheet details there and view a graph if you like as well. Then we can go to our results breakdown tab here. Oop. It takes a second to load, and our results breakdown tab is going to allow us to see kind of a comprehensive image of what kind of stocks we have selected with the screener that we made. Here you can see that we have a lot of small caps, a few mid caps, and then as they go up in size, it gets smaller and smaller as a percentage of the screen that we've made. Betas, we have a healthy mix of everything, it looks like. Earnings per share, we have all over the place. The unknown earnings per share is very interesting. You can see here that we have a very low PE and a low PE, and that's because we've screened specifically to have low price earnings ratio. So that's not surprising at all. And we have all of these other attributes that we can look at as well for the stocks that we've screened for. Furthermore, we can look at our results table tab here at the bottom, and you'll notice at the top we have some just gargantuan companies, Bank of China, China Petroleum, so on and so forth. We've got Yahoo down here, hundreds of billions of dollars. And then if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll find very small companies, just a few $1 million in market capitalization here. Companies we've probably never heard of before, just because they are indeed so small. Now this is something that you'll want to screen for later on, is these smaller companies, because oftentimes they're illiquid and more difficult to trade, and if you're working with any kind of sizable amount of money, you could very well end up influencing the very price at which they sell. Moving back to the original results tab here, we can see that all of our ticker symbols here are in gray. Now the reason that they're in gray is because we have a very narrow window, a one-day window that we have purchased and sold or purchased and held, in this case, the stocks. Now, if we moved this back to get a sense of how these companies have been doing, we can just select this time frame here and maybe hit 5 years and wait for it to update. And then by doing so, we have an idea of how these companies have done over that period of time. And we'll see here, did very good in the insurance sector, not so hot in oil and gas, which isn't surprising given the current events that have been going on with oil prices dropping drastically. We can also go down to our results by category tab, and this is very useful because here we can see over that period of time what different sectors we have performed well in versus which sectors that we've performed poorly in. We can see here that our average is just under 50%. Healthcare was a very strong performer. Energy and consumer defense, very poor by comparison. And that gives us a more thorough understanding of what we're working with. Now, here we have it sorted by sector, but we can also sort it by just about anything we want. So on this right-hand side here, we have the sorted by area, and you can just click where it says sector, and we have this drop-down menu. So if I wanted to, I could select market capitalization. Here, the default is just to show the average, micro, small, mid, large, and mega. Again, I can click this, and I can choose, the amount of buckets. So I can just hit 7 and click OK. Didn't change anything. Strange. So the reason it didn't change anything here is because or you can give us a list area. So if you click on this, you can just erase that, and it will give you whatever default sizes that it chooses. So up to 103 million, 103 to 212, 212 to 410, and you can get a clear idea of what's going on there. Another way to look at the information is via the results scatter tab, which is essentially just a scatter plot. And here we can see all the different companies. You can click on any one of these dots to get an idea of what company that you're actually looking at. Out here we've got a decent outlier. So Bankers Trust performed very well given its comparable market capitalization for other companies and that were selected by our screen. And again here, as with our previous screen, we have our x-axis is market cap and our y-axis is return, and we can click on these and change them. So we could do something like beta and get an idea of what's going on with beta. We have a line that automatically gets fit to the data as well with Equities Lab. In some situations that's useful. Here with this particular set of data, I don't know that there's actually anything to be fit there. That looks pretty random to me. Anyways, take some time, experiment with some of these functions by yourself and see what you can do. And next we will look at backtests.